Let's talk about your emotions with the Four of Pentacles. And I chose to talk about emotions, even though it's a Pentacles card, mainly because of the way that the man is depicted. So first of all, hold your feelings close, okay? You're a fire sign. You're very, very affectionate. And you're very pretty much you're very, very directed when it comes to who it is that you want, pursuing the things and the people that you want in your life, and going after the things that spark your passion. It is really important for this month. I feel like for this month, you're keeping yourself very protective. Okay, you're keeping yourself very protected. You're protecting your feelings. You're not letting things out, and I do feel that as well. It is linked up with the World card. The World deals with some type of a conclusion. It deals with wrapping things up, things coming into a culmination, things being brought to an end. And the World is also a card about expansion, expanding your network, expanding your social circle, getting out dating, finding the right types of people that brings us emotional fulfillment, finding the right types of people that can bring in a lot of, I would say, like opportunities for us, luck and abundance for us, okay? The world is there for the taking, but you're keeping yourself kind of scared and kind of on the sidelines, nibbling at life. So you're not ready yet to engage with the world. And I do feel that, going back to the initial message, I feel like you're waiting on communication from somebody. And I feel like it could also be in a work front. There might be opportunities to work overseas, and you're waiting on that one opportunity, and other job prospects are coming through for you. If it's a work situation, then definitely wait for it. But if it's a love partner who is a little bit sketchy when it comes to communication with you, or at least not being able to communicate and be consistent with their communication, it's going to be in your best interest to not put your life on hold, okay? So I definitely feel as well on the financial front, there might be work opportunities, publishing opportunities, work opportunities that can potentially take you away overseas, or taking you somewhere like close, outside of your geographical location. You have very, very high hopes and aspirations, and you have it might be like you apply for four jobs. There's one that you're really, really interested in, and it seems like it's going to come to fruition for you as well. In terms of your communication, we have the King of Swords as well as the Wheel of Fortune. Both of these are very, very, very good cards. The King of Swords deals with strategy. It deals with marketing ourselves. It deals with like upgrading our skills, being very mindful about the image that we project out into the world, how we communicate with others, how we attain, achieve, and retain knowledge. So this is a very, very good card. And I do feel that, out of all the fire signs, you are probably the most directed when it comes to your energy flow. So I do sense Aries tend to be a little bit hot-headed, and Sagittarius are scattered. So I feel like Leo, you have a very, very good balance when it comes to, how to direct your energy in order to get the things that you want. And this is basically about, saying what you mean and then following through with it in order to get the results that you want. You have shown people over and over and over again that you are very, very consistent. As a result of it, I feel that your consistency is starting to pay off, and you are going to have a lot of opportunities as well. And I do feel for those of you who are dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, this person is opening up your world. They're showing you a new side of life. And it could be a romantic partnership, or it just can be somebody that is heavily in your life because they're teaching you. They're karmically brought into your life to teach many, many important lessons as well. Okay. When I look at the Wheel of Fortune, I think of it as like a gateway, like a portal. It allows people to come back into our lives. It allows people to leave as well. So one thing is ending on the heels of something else, but I definitely feel it's also very karmically tied in with this air sign, where they are brought into your life to expand your consciousness, to look at the things that you might not have, to give you a different perspective as to, the way things are. So it's more of a philosophical like mentor coming through to help you, to give you some very good guidance. Okay. I also feel as well, if this is a romantic partner, um, there might be, if you're dating an air sign, there's a lot to learn mutually from both sides, but I do feel they are going to be a significant person uh, in a way that will allow you to have a lot of luck, a lot of expansion, a lot of abundance in your life. If you are dealing with an Aquarius or sorry, if you're dealing with an air sign, specifically an Aquarius, Aquarius is your solar opposite. When opposite signs come together, it is a really like electrifying experience. There's like instant attraction, instant chemistry. Over time, it can be challenging because, you know, opposites attract but also repel. So they're going to give you more of a holistic picture. They're more big picture oriented, whereas you're a little bit more like practical, detail oriented. So I do feel as well they're going to bring a lot of excitement into your life. But the interaction over time can be a little bit challenging, not in a bad way. It's challenging to allow you to stretch your imagination, okay? In terms of long-term goals and aspirations, we do have the Star card as well as the Nine of Wands. Now, I do feel there's some fear here. You have a lot of opportunities opening up for you, but you're not grabbing it, okay? You have somebody that is coming through that is providing you a lot of excitement, a lot of new opportunities as well. And I do feel that it's kind of like there's something holding you back, possibly family. There's something holding you back from living your life. So I feel like you might be on the sidelines of life. Once again, we have here the Star, which is basically, it's your spirit guides telling you, they're lighting the way so that you have a path forward. And it's also a situation where you are going to have to like, it's basically showing you in spirit form that here's the path that we created for you. We're like lighting it up as you walk along this path. So the whole path is not going to be apparent for you. Everything is not laid out yet. You have to take that first step in order for the next step to show. And I know that sounds very, very scary, but the universe is asking you, have faith. Let your guard down, because we're showing you that this is the right thing for you and it's the best thing for you. And you're going to see that in the long run, but you really need to be less skeptical and to trust that we have your best interests at heart. So I hope that makes sense, because I feel like that you might be a little bit scared, trepidatious, and you might miss out on the opportunity. It's there, but you're kind of like looking elsewhere. And you're looking at something that might potentially seem a little bit more logical. Whatever is presented to you seems magical, mystical, and surreal. But the universe is telling you to trust it. Okay? Don't fight it. Trust it. All right? What else is coming through here with these last two cards? We have the Prince of Swords and the Seven of Swords. So in terms of communication, in terms of like, I feel there is a heavy air energy in the people that you're interacting with. So the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So I feel like there is somebody here that has like, changed your life. Like they have a huge influence in your life, an air sign. There is potentially a younger person where you feel unsettled by them. It's not that they're not trustworthy. I feel that they are. But I feel like there's a sense of unsettledness about them. The way they make you feel. And they're very brave, very courageous. And so are you, Leos. A lot of Leos are very brave and courageous. But I do feel that this person is very no nonsense. For example, I feel like, you're very brave, you're very courageous, you're very ethical, and you want to always make the right decisions. And sometimes you understand that, rules are there, yes, but when we have to like cast judgment, we also have to take people's feelings and their specific situation, circumstances into account as well. And you're dealing with someone who doesn't take that into account, who's very logical, black or white, and they don't really take human, conditioning and feelings and life circumstances into account. They're a little bit rigid. They follow things by the book, and that's all it is. They can also be inclined to ask a lot of questions, and because of it, you might feel uncomfortable. I feel like there is an unsettled energy surrounding this person that's coming through. Could be a younger person. There might be an age difference. I feel I'm sensing I'm sensing it's somebody that you're attracted to. I'm sensing that. It's an air sign that you are attracted to, but you don't know how to approach them. You don't know how to approach them because I feel like he's got his eyes on this other person. And he's just like, what do I do? I also feel as well, a lot of you might be concerned, worried about something that might have transpired in the past. And this is, on a totally separate note, okay? So there's an air sign you're potentially attracted to. Moving on, there's another thing that I'm picking up. I feel like there was somebody in your life that's doing something they're not supposed to. This can be you or another person. There's some fear about the past catching up with us. There's some fear about the past catching up with us, and we're cautious and we're like trepidatious and we're not taking risks here because we don't want the past catching up to us. So I feel like that's what's happening with you, Leos. In terms of your advice, things are going to be okay. So don't worry. First of all, we do have the Empress, and the Empress is basically, it's a very, very loving maternal figure as well. This can also indicate, like spiritual guidance, ancestral spirits showing up in order to guide you, in order to help you. And it's going to bring a lot of opportunities for you that can allow you to grow, that can allow you to heal. And I feel like if this is somebody that has passed away, that has passed on to the other side, they are bringing in love relationships for you. I feel like that's the overwhelming message here. And they're telling you, you might not have all the answers right now, but you should trust it. And you should trust us enough where if you take the first step, the next step is going to be shown for you. And, trust it, go with it, and things will be okay. So you have some very strong divine protection coming in for this week. You have somebody that is going to come through, possibly a water sign. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces coming into your life. I do feel if this is like an old person coming through, like, a past energy coming through, if it is a past energy, it's being blocked out. If it's a new energy, it's being kind of like pulled in, okay? So either way, you have very, very strong support. You have a lot of options as well when it comes to doing things that will land you a lot of emotional fulfillment. So it's kind of like out with the old patterns of bad luck. There's a new energy, a new phase, ushering in a new phase that will bring you a lot of opportunities as well as emotional fulfillment. If there is a situation from the past and you feel like, I hope the past catches up to that person, or I hope the past doesn't catch up, you are going to have a lot of protection, so don't worry about it, okay? You have a lot of protection. And the cards are urging you once again, opportunities are coming through. Don't be afraid to take on new opportunities. We don't have all the answers. It's really important to be open-minded and not judge. You have a lot of expansion coming through with the World, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Star. Those cards are basically like clean slate. New energies coming through, new era in your life starting. So you really need to grab those opportunities. Be courageous and be bold rather than, slinking away. Okay, so those are the advice for you, Leos. Let's do your love reading and see what's coming through for you. So let's talk about you newly single people. So if you've been dealing with some heartache and some, pain and rejection and things like that, I do feel that things are going to end this month. Okay, like the overcoming heartache and figuring out where you stand with another person, being kind of like kept hanging and, kept high and dry. That situation is coming to an end. You're kicking old habits with the devil here. You're kicking old habits, you're healing from the situation, and you are also charging ahead. Okay, so it looks to me to be very, very good. Going back to the initial message that I mentioned, there is somebody from your past that you are still, waiting on contact from. I feel that it would be best for you to let it go because, like I said, I don't feel that situation panning out too well. This is about new energies, newness, overcoming past hurts and disappointment and moving forward, okay? What's crowning you here is the Ten of Cups, which is like the apex of emotional happiness. So I feel like for those of you who have recently gotten over another person and you're trying to move forward, I do feel that it looks very, very favorable for you. It looks very good. There are opportunities for you to to meet very like-minded people. It's really important for you to branch out, look at your, be adventurous, look outside of your normal type, and don't date the same type of people over and over again and expect different results. It rarely happens with anything in life, okay? There are going to be a lot of messages coming through as well. This is a card about communication, not so much from the person that, that I mentioned earlier, but new people. This is brand new energies. You are going to have to risk, let go of the past, charge ahead, move on to the future in order for you to get the friendships, camaraderie, in order for you to get the emotional happiness, and in order for you to get the communication from new people, all right? For those of you who are in stable relationships, who are in coupled relationships, what I'm feeling as well is there's almost a sense of struggling with the same battles. I feel like there's a lot of love in the relationship overall, but there might be some type of power struggle. There might have been some situation that came up regarding temptation, regarding somebody's conduct in a relationship. Unfortunately, if you're dealing with an earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, I feel like there is communication barriers between you and them. And I mentioned that mainly because this is a card of Capricorn here. There might be some barriers in communication between you and them. The indiscretion, flirtation can come from you or them. So I feel like there's blockages in communication and it's not going to clear up for this month. If you are in stable relationships, there's a lot of love involved. And if you're not with, somebody that has a history with the indiscretion, I feel almost like somebody might be a little bit aggressive with their words. They might be a little bit like judgmental. And it might be an air sign because we saw two of them come out earlier, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. And they put you on the defense. And what I mean by that is I don't think there's any harm. It's just they're very different and they're very cutting and short and curt with their words, so it's not something that you're used to. So I feel like you might be a little sensitive when dealing with them. If that's the case, open up the channel of communication. So the advice here is increase communication where there are blockages with new people. If you're dealing with air signs specifically, try to really get them, try to verbalize your feelings, verbalize your thoughts, try to alleviate the tension if you're dealing with that, mainly because it's different elements. They might have a hard time understanding you and vice versa. So it's really important to open up that channel of communication. The channel of communication, once open, it will bring a lot of mutual understanding, a lot of love, and it's going to allow the flow of love to happen once again in your life, okay? I do feel for those of you who are single, who have been single for some time, who are not dealing with any type of heartache or any type of disappointment, you are going to attract an air sign. We have the sword energy here. The air sign, I want to say there is a lot of physical attraction with the air sign. And they make you want to just rush in and jump the gun, okay? I feel if you're dealing with an air sign, they might have some residual baggage that they need to overcome for themselves before they can be a stable relationship partner. I feel you rushing ahead, but you should slow down a little bit. If you are pushing too hard, especially if you're dealing with an Aquarius, give them a lot of space. air signs in general, but give them a lot of space. Be very, very like just, you know, a little bit more laid back. If you look at this, it's all the arrows and it's catching her off guard and she seems very unsettled. If you're dealing with an air sign, back off a little bit because I feel like they're recoiling from some heartache on their part. So if they're kind of like distant, incommunicado, if there's a lot of physical chemistry, but you don't really know like where you stand with them, give it some time, okay? Build upon it, give it some time because I feel that the foundation looks very good for you. There is going to be a lot of communication. This is a lot of partners, a lot of communication, especially for those of you who are single. For those of you in relationships, there is like a new revival, re-injection in passion in the relationship, but the communication has to open up first before the feelings will start to flow, before the passion comes back in.